Hi everybody, this video is going to have tips and tricks that I've learned along my recovery journey for how to deal with gaining weight when you're in recovery from a restrictive eating disorder. So these are just from my personal experience, what I've seen other people do and what I've personally found helpful. So I hope it helps. Number 1, throw away all of your clothes as soon as they don't fit. So if you have an item, as soon as in the weight restoration process it does not fit anymore, you need to get rid of it right away. What I was always told is the only reason you would hold on to it is if you believe there's a possibility to get sick again. So think, if you're holding on to it, it means you want to get sick again. So the best thing to do as soon as it doesn't fit is get rid of it. This brings me to my advice number 2. I know for me personally, a lot of my clothes had kind of sentimental value, or they were kind of like weight check clothes. So I'd try them on and I'd be able to tell, like, okay, I'm about at this weight. So my next piece of advice is to give them away to charity shops, thrift shops, women's shelters, children's shelters, kind of places like that, and don't give them to family members or friends that you will see wearing them. Because for me personally, that would be really hard, seeing somebody else that I'm friends with in clothes that I can no longer fit in. And I know for a lot of other girls I've talked to, it was a problem for them too. So as soon as the clothes don't fit, get rid of them, but don't give them to somebody you know. And there's even some stores that you can, if it's name brand stuff, you can sell it so it doesn't feel as much of a waste. Or there's always shelters looking for resources, which is great. Now moving on to clothes I found helpful to wear during the weight restoration process. It kind of made me more comfortable and it wasn't as bad. First things first, sweatpants. Sweatpants are your friends. They are comfy. A big problem in weight restoration, of course, is bloating, which isn't necessarily weight gain even, it's just water, fluid, gas, whatever. So they're stretchy, they're comfy, and it feels much better than being in a tight, restrictive pair of jeans. Next piece of clothing. This depends on the person. For some, it's helpful. For others, it could be a trigger, but that is a pair of leggings. So like sweatpants are super stretchy and comfy. I know some treatment centers don't let you wear them because they kind of can be seen as like exposing yourself in a way. But if you do feel comfortable wearing them, and they do allow it at the treatment center you're in, then I definitely suggest them because, like sweatpants, they're really nice and stretchy. Next. Maxi skirts of sorts, long flowy skirts. Again, they're stretchy most of the time, the fabric is stretchy, and there's nothing like clinging and grabbing onto like your legs and stuff, and I found these amazing. I found it helpful for days I didn't want to feel like frumpy, and it would make me feel like I was kind of putting effort into it, but really I was just throwing on a cotton skirt. So I think these are a great option. Next, this is probably the biggest piece of clothing that helped me. It is a cotton dress. So the whole thing's cotton, it's super stretchy, it's long sleeve, which was nice because I was feeling quite self-conscious about certain body parts. And there's no restricting in the stomach, and this was a savior for me. So any kind of cotton, loose-fitting dress, I think is a must. So for tops, I have a couple long sleeves here, but of course t-shirts too. I found like anything really loose fitting to be good. So something that didn't really cling to me tightly. So this is an example of like a sweater that was helpful when I was recovering. And probably my favorite top to wear were these button-up shirts of sorts. Because again, they're long sleeve, they just kind of go straight down. I felt comfortable in them. And also, you know, with the collar, it didn't make me feel as frumpy as maybe just throwing on a t-shirt would. Gave the illusion that I was trying when really I was just throwing on a shirt. So that's what I have for clothing. Next is kind of a few other items. There's these really popular this year. They're like blanket scarves. So kind of like a shawl, and you just wrap them around. And they can look, you know, nice and put together, but I found this so awesome. And especially in weight restoration, there's a lot of like hot, cold flashes. Your body's doing all kinds of crazy things trying to get healthy again. So I found this perfect for when I was cold, but then I could take it off when I was hot, and it was kind of like became like a security blanket. If I was feeling like really self-conscious about a body part, I could just, you know, throw my scarf over it. So next thing I found helpful was focusing on parts of my bodies or things that didn't change with weight. So for one example, my hair. My hair didn't gain weight, didn't lose weight, it stayed the same. So I found it helpful to kind of work with my hair, you know, maybe I was being a bit lazy with what I was wearing, but I would do my hair. And of course hair accessories were a big part of that. So I have a flower crown, which I love. It doesn't make your life situation any better, but it definitely makes you happier wearing a flower crown. And then, of course, just like bows and little flower doohickeys. I just found dressing up my hair and focusing on a body part that didn't change. I guess hair is not a body part. But focusing on something that didn't change was really helpful. And speaking of things that didn't change, shoes. Of course, my feet. I know for some people it's different. Sometimes feet sizes can change. I don't know why, but they can. But for most people, I think they tend to stay the same. So wearing nice shoes or treating yourself to a new pair of shoes can really help with the confidence. And again, you're focusing on something that isn't weight related, and it can be a good way to have some self-esteem maybe. So yes, shoes, of course. This one's tip is for people who are having maybe a hard time seeing themselves naked, a hard time showering, taking care of themselves because they're having a hard time seeing their body. I know a few girls, and I myself included, for a time being wore like swimsuits in the shower, just until we became more like comfortable with our new bodies and everything. Can be a good like baby step towards getting kind of more comfortable with it. Yeah, it might seem kind of weird, but I know personally I had a lot of trouble seeing my body with all the changes and everything. So this is definitely an option. And finally, for trying to manage the physical effects of weight restoration and the how you look sense, of course, this isn't about the actual symptoms. Me and like some other girls, we actually went, once we got to a weight that we knew we were going to maintain for a while, so not while we were still in the process of restoring our weight, but once we got there, because that's a big deal, right? So if you can reward yourself for the hard work you've done, and with the new body you have, when you're at a healthy weight, restored weight, treat yourself to some new clothes, because probably you got rid of a lot of clothes. And like I said before, hopefully as soon as they didn't fit, they were gone. So now that you're at a weight that you know you're going to maintain for a while, it's time to reward yourself with some new clothes. I recommend going out with people you know are going to be supportive. So if you have a friend that you know isn't the best to shop with, I say avoid that. Even go with some people in the program or some people you know have the same struggles, or if you don't know anybody like that, go by yourself. And if like money's an issue, again, there's thrift shops that are always good. Thrift shops and stuff, which are good places to get high quality goods, but at a much lower cost. So think of it as a treat for yourself for recovering and putting all that hard work in. So I hope this was helpful. These are just some things I found personally helpful when I was in the weight restoration process. And of course, it's not dealing with like the physical symptoms, it's just dealing with the feelings around like how you look and all the changes that are happening. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. My blog is in the description as always, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!